We'll see if that continues to be the trend in this final term, another 25-minute quarter.
The other thing, Darcy Fogarty starting out of the goal square, we made note that he was getting a lot of his footy up on the wing. It looked like the back half of that quarter, they put him right down deep and said, start in the square and let's see if he can get on the scoreboard. And he's starting there again at this quarter.
And I think he's gotten better as the game's gone on too, because he's worked himself into it. A couple of goals, a really nice finish late in that third term as well after the siren. We'll see if he can get more of it. Here's Schoenberg again, putting a nice tackle on Wilson. Liked his game today. He's got a good big body. He's played a couple of senior AFL games as well in his career, but he's taken down on this occasion by Brad Ebert.
Yeah, might get an opportunity with that bigger body as well, with Ellis Yeoman and also Greenwood exiting the club.
For sure. Here's Seedsman streaming through. He's tackled, and now Wilson again did well. Just got the hands free. You can see that experience. Gives it to Seedsman. Schoenberg now got it away in time. Wilson again lowers the eyes into the pocket. Not quite taken there by Crocker. He butters up though, picks it up. Now tackled by Patmore. Garner's in there too. And still up against the boundary line. And I reckon we'll get a ball up. We do.
Yeah, the other thing that Wilson has is a thumping kick, isn't he? He's got great penetration with his leg.
So a chance now here for the Crows to get one early in this final term. Hayes wins it down. Gets it back in. Here's Himmelberg. Can't take it cleanly. Seedsman. Nice little dummy sold. Then just puts it to the hot spot. Top of the square. Round the body. Crocker. Oh, just hits the post.
Hit the padding on the post. So the big fat pad in the bottom half of the post. He's got the inside of that. But he's lively, isn't he? He's in front. He's on his toes. That was a shank kick forward. He was the first one to respond to it. Just hooked around the corner and unlucky not to score a goal.
He's got the one today, but he's done some things. He's instinctive. Here's Mackesy with Marshall. Good contest, that one. And the umpire blows the whistle and says, I'll have it, thanks.
Clear tactic again from Port Adelaide. It's that kick in. It's into the centre of the ground.
Do you like it, Bix?
Oh, I love it. It just takes out so many defenders. You kick it straight over their head. And when you've got a bloke like Leonard who can do that, Trent McKenzie's another one who's got a cannon for a leg. I think it's a good tactic. We
saw McKenzie in action last week, which was really good. Here's Schoenberg again. Scholl, who's usually a really good user. That was nice body work there by Frampton. Ball now spits over the back. Little kick inside, and there's Fogarty on a good lead.
It was touched.
And it was touched, so he has to play on. Goes to the top of the square. Himmelberg off hands there to lean it. And now Patmore. Great to see him back after rupturing that ACL early in 2019. Sutcliffe, oh, he did all the hard work, just couldn't quite execute the mark. Does he give away a free kick? No, said the umpire. Woodcock lays a strong tackle, and we'll get a ball up.
Love the work rate of Woodcock then. He actually saw the ball was exiting this side. He ran probably 50, 60 metres to get used. Didn't get used. He kicked it over his head. He then turned around and ran back hard and made that tackle. Well done.
Atley, a good handball. Lean it, not so good, but it's going to work out okay. Or in some trouble. Just gives himself enough time, though. And that was Corcoran, who switches the play. Now Piscini. He goes short as well. Finds Mays. Mays over the top. Looking for Sam Blitch. She does well. One of the top-up players. Nice little sidestep. Gives it to Leonard, who ran a long way up the ground. And Marshall finds the football and will have a shot from about 40 metres out on a tight angle.
Yeah, it was an interesting passage of play because it was uncontested footy all the way for Port Adelaide. That all the Port players had just been off their Adelaide opponents. Now, it wasn't a perfect play because every time the ball didn't really go from hand to body, it bounced in front, and they just needed to have a couple of clean possessions. And a little bit of composure from Jared Leonard was able just to steady and find the forward and get it on his chest. Now it earns them a shot at goal.
So Todd Marshall just crosses the 50 now. Comes in, kicks from about 45. He's missed to that near side, through for one behind, and margin back out to 17 points. Early stages of this final term, almost 4 minutes in. So still opportunities and time for Adelaide if they're good enough. It's been Port Adelaide in front for pretty much the entire day. Crows kicked the first, but from then on, the Power have had control, and a good intercept mark taken there by Cox, who flirted with the idea of moving it on quickly, but thought better of it and is happy to now go back and have a shot.
Another turnover by foot from Adelaide in their own back half, and that one's defensive 50. They just don't have a great deal of certainty in their back half. It's clear that Matthew Nix is trying to get them to kick short. and play it safe through the back half of the ground, but unfortunately they've turned it over a number of times today.
From Glenelg, originally rookie listed, and he's been a real bolter in this pre-season, Tobin Cox, the way he's come on. He misses on this occasion, and the margin now, an even 3 goals as Jake Kelly gets ready to bring the ball back. He goes short to Hartigan. So 2 of the more experienced players for the Crows out there today combined. Nice kick there from Hartigan as well. So Adelaide again, just with a little bit of this slow play. Happy to just work it up the ground. Butts goes long, that's better from Himmelberg, crashes the pack. Wilson again, sharking it, but he was caught with it.
Yeah, just went to handball and got his arm caught by the Port Adelaide player and didn't allow him to make contact with the footy.
So Port now going short, and it's Farrell who goes on that left boot. Thumping kick inside 50 as well. Fair bit of body work going on inside there too. Mackesy did well. Gave it off to Hamill. Lowered the eyes. Looking for Wilson. Can he get there? No, but creates the contest that enables Kelly to take it to Himmelberg. Quick handball over the top. Might have been a bit hot, but they work it out here well, the Crows. Seedsman to Paholke. He's got a load of options, it would seem. Goes over the top, and he finds Crocker. And Crocker about 25 metres out on a tight angle. Runs around, curls it over the shoulder. Has he brought it back enough? I think he has. And it's another one for Adelaide. Crocker's got his second, and the margin now back to just a couple of goals.
One thing we can take out of today, we talked about the short kicking in the back half. Once it gets to the middle of the ground, it's all out attack. They all want to run and try and get involved. We've seen a number of times, here we are now where it's Himmelberg. These chains of handballs, 1, 2, Seedsman there, 3, and then Paholke now in space gets the opportunity to put it out to advantage of the forward. That's just a really smart kick. When you're a defender and you're one-on-one with lots of space and the player that's carrying the ball has got time to be able to look up and steady and kick it, it's very, very difficult to defend, and they've done that a couple of times where they've used those chains of handballs to be able to create really good entries.
So Crocker with a couple of goals now to his name. Not a bad day's work for a small forward. He'd love another 1 or 2 though. And Adelaide now just getting a real smell for it. Seedsman pops it on the right boot, up inside 50, ball off hands. Great work by the big fella, Fogarty. And they've got another one. Fogarty has his third, and the margin back to 1 straight kick.
Oh, great play by Adelaide. It's a genuine pack. We've actually called for that a few times for them to kick it in long to that hot spot and just get some players to jump at it. And there were a couple of big guys up there. So Darcy Fogarty quite rightly thought, you know what, I don't need to fly for this if we've got Frampton and others flying forward. So he parked himself at the front, just watching the replay now. It's that long kick in, and that puts defenders under pressure. And it was the ball coming to the ground. Darcy Fogarty in a really good spot.
That was a good roving goal, wasn't it?
He is a classy finisher. There's no doubt about that. Doesn't need a whole lot of opportunities. He's got 3 goals after a pretty quiet start. So he's really worked his way into this game.
And got that lovely size about him too. He's a big boy, still only 20 years of age as well. So the signs are good for a big year. Hopefully for Darcy Fogarty as Strawn tries to just crash his way through. Seedsman's been great in this final term. In fact, he's had a pretty good day all round. So too is Hamill. Seedsman gets it back from him, goes short to Gallant, who does really well. Just a very skinny young man, but he's done some nice things today. Kelly finds one of the top-up players. That was nicely done there by Arnold, going low to ground.
What about Gallant, James Hird style, wiping his hands as the ball was coming towards him? Yeah, interesting. It
was really good, wasn't it? As Port now go forward. Buzzer from Farrell. Kelly just tapped it to himself. That was clever. He's got Worrell if he likes. He doesn't use him. Goes up towards Gallant again, who couldn't take the mark. Ball goes out of play.
Yeah, he looked over at the umpire with a wry smile and said, a bit of frontal contact, and the umpire said, nope. So he picked himself up and just jogging back towards his own goal.
Great contest here at Thebarton today. Nice crowd as well. Maybe a touch over 1,000 or so. Really good stuff. Seeing the really impressive young players from both clubs out here today. And we'll get another boundary throw in as we come up towards the 10-minute mark in this final term, playing 25-minute quarters. It was Port Adelaide by 2 points at quarter time, 34 at half-time, back to 17 at the final change, and now just 6 points the difference between the two sides as Strawn and Hayes go at it again. And here is Arnold, one of the top-up players, around the body on the left, only as far as Frederick.
Found plenty of footy today.
He's been good. Yeah, made some good decisions as well as Port find a little bit of space here. They work it through now via handball to Marshall, not great, but the bounce was good. Goes on the left boot, clever kick. He's a smart footballer. You can see why he's so highly rated. He finds his target there in Smith. This is Lockie Smith. And he'll have a shot from 45 metres out, almost directly in front.
And that's why Todd Marshall has a point of difference about him. Everyone looks at him and says he's a 197-centimetre forward. He must play like a tall forward, but that one there, the ball's on the deck. He picks it up nonchalantly and then drops on the left foot and finds a player. He actually plays like a small man more than a big key forward.
The finish, not the best there from Smith, just the one behind, but margin now extends to 7 points. As we come up towards the halfway point of this final term. Now a long kick outside, looking for Gollant, not able to take it. Farrell, he can get the journey from there. He almost just put a little 8 or a 9-9 on that. That is a wonderful finish, just all timing. Beautiful goal. He's a classy player, and that just gives them a little bit of breathing space.
I was watching the goal umpire as Kane Farrell picked it up. He kicked it. It looked magnificent off the boot. Then I was looking at the goal umpire. Did not move a muscle. Did not even flinch because it was going straight over the head. Just looking there, the numbers of Port Adelaide. But once the ball came to ground, Farrell right on 50. And have a look at the goal umpire there. Did not move from the minute it left Kane Farrell's boot. And that's what we've talked about. Value for touches, there's not many better than Port Adelaide. So can he turn that 8, 9, 10 possession game into a 15, 16, 17 possession game? And if he can, he becomes a really dangerous player. 10
touches and 4 marks last week against Brisbane. Turns 21 next month. Already 12 games to his name at senior level, including those 3 goals in that first quarter in a showdown. So he does have a bit about him. And I'm sure Ken Hinkley will look to him on occasion this season. Free kick in the middle. It's going Port Adelaide's way to Atley. So the young man, Joe Atley.
Nice tap again by Hayes. The Port midfielders be pretty wrapped with his performance today.
He goes long. They look for a few options. Sutcliffe now, tackled by Scholl. Good tackle on him. Here's Mackesy, gets it out to Worrell. Worrell lowers the eyes, and O'Connor, who's done some nice things today. He in turn goes short. Kick just arrives in time for Kelly.
This is where Adelaide have battled. So they're 60 metres from their own goal. It's a slow play. How do they move the ball?
They go long up the line. Himmelberg, almost uncontested in the end. Takes a nice grab in front of Hayes, who got there late. Couldn't really affect any pressure on it. And he goes back to O'Connor. So now they'll look to go a bit faster, you think, Bix?
Yeah, you'd think so from here. That was the first time today we've seen Adelaide have a big man like a Himmelberg or a Fogarty or a Frampton take that contested mark on the wing. That one wasn't really contested, but that's what they need more of from those 3 players.
Now they switch the play and just try and restart and do it again. So taking their time, they come in board, and good attack on the footy there. It's outstanding work. Now they go with a little handball to Butts. Butts comes up the line. And what can they manage here? The Crows, handball to Himmelberg. Just on the ground there is Grundy, so the Crows have got the numbers if they're good enough. And Fogarty takes the mark. A big kick from here into a slight breeze, but if anyone's going to get the journey.
Just got the binoculars on Riley Grundy. It might be his left ankle that he's, no, it's his right ankle. He's just not putting a lot of weight on that at the moment. He's being assisted by trainers.
So we'll keep an eye on young Riley Grundy. 100% on the money. You can see a bit of bother at the moment. At least he's coming off, albeit in some pain.
Under his own steam.
Under his own steam, exactly right. Through for one behind in the meantime. And that margin now back to 2 goals straight as Grundy, we can see there coming from the field. Starting to get a bit more of a jog. Hopefully not too serious. Woodcock now takes the mark here for the power. Half-back flank. Comes up the line, and Sutcliffe had a pretty good first half. He's just become a bit more quiet as the game's gone on. Short to Garner.
Look at that mullet.
It's superb. He goes long up the line. Wilson sets himself. Like his game today, Biggs.
Yeah, look, he at this level should be a really good player. His challenge now is, can he make the transition? We know he's been a great sample player. Can he make the transition to become a very good AFL player?
Well, they're going to get another opportunity here. The Crows maybe a little bit fortuitous. And a trip there.
That was from, who was that? Matthews, James Matthews there. Doing some really nice stuff.
And ball now over the top here. Here's Crocker. He's got an opportunity. Oh, he just fell over at the wrong time. And that allowed Corcoran in. And he goes long up the line. They're going to get it back, though. Hamill, we've enjoyed his game today. Lowers the eyes, goes short. And Davis takes the mark.
Started off quite brightly. Ben Davison just faded out of the game a bit.
Ball comes up inside 50. There's Schoenberg. Himmelberg's in there as well. Fogarty diving back in after it. Port will be happy for a ball up here. They're not going to get one. It's going to be holding the ball.
Haven't seen a whole lot of stoppages around play. They had a number of boundary throw-ins, but the umpires called play on.
That was Lockie Smith who got caught. He did call play on. Now they come inside 50 here, the Crows. The ball just pitches to Paholke. He wants to get the handball away. He gets it away eventually, but it wasn't the execution he wanted. And now the ball goes out of play. Centre wing, broadcast side.
Just a quick kick forward there. Port Adelaide runner Tyson Goldsack looked like he was going to get a kick there. Just having a little look at Grundy.
Yeah.
Just that right knee or right ankle, lower leg.
Just falling a little bit awkwardly. Didn't appear to be overly serious, did it? Hopefully nothing too much the problem there. They've got a pretty good injury list. Ollie Wines, one of the only ones. Jackson Mead, a late out today as well. He had that hamstring problem. But other than that, pretty good for Port at the moment. And a clean bill of health too for Adelaide. Davis had that bit of a scare, didn't he, early in the game? But
his shoulder.
He has since returned, which is good to see. Just on 8 minutes left in this contest. I'm sure the Crows young boys would want to get themselves back into it and win it if they can. Going to have to be clean from here. Marshall in the right, good handball there by Ebert. That was outstanding. Farrell now over the top. 2-on-1 here for Adelaide. They've got the numbers. Have they got the goods, though, to get away? Matty Merritt was involved. One of the top-up players there for the Crows. Kelly. Here is Merritt on cue to Hardigan. Oh, he's under some trouble, in some pressure. And now, strong tackle there from Keys. Ball spits out. Here's Farrell, gives off the handball. Kick comes back in board. There's Butts. And the umpire says play on, not the 15. Now Schoenberg. They can work their way out of it here, Adelaide. If they're good enough, great kick. Finds the big fella in Strawn. He's got players fanning off around him. Comes in board, dangerous kick, but it's a good one. Scholl. Gotten busier as the game's gone on. Nice kick. Comes out to Keys. Keys lowers the eyes. Does he get him? Matthews, I reckon it is. No, and he's hurt himself, I think, maybe the knee. Ball comes in board and Atley takes the mark.
Yeah, just holding his right knee.
And again, Pat Moore takes the mark. He can go short. He does so. He finds Ellsworthy, who's done some good things today. Just keeping possession here. At the moment, the power.
Strawn's parked up the line, so he can't go long, so finds Brad Ebert.
It didn't go the 15, so he's under some pressure. Good tackle there by O'Connor. Ebert did well to get rid of the football in time, but it was nicely done there, and you can see the injury. Just landing a bit awkwardly there.
Yeah, just off balance and maybe a hyperextension.
Umpire now tosses this one back in. Ball off hands. It's Paholke going after it. Did well. Turned back in. Absorbed the pressure and got away. Now gets the kick inside 50. Great run and jump at that by Crocker. And this would pull the margin back to 1 goal with about 5 minutes to play. So good play again from Adelaide, set up by Paholke.
Yeah, Paholke was great, wasn't he? There was a good shepherd by Wilson also. So just enabled, with 3 power players, looked like they were going to get after Paholke. One was taken with the shepherd, then it was a really good blind turn, put into a dangerous spot, and Strangely enough, it looked like Elliot Hilberg was going to jump at it, but Crocker was the one that really wanted the ball the most and jumped up and really took it uncontested in front.
From about 40 metres out, kicks on its way, it's drifting, but it's good enough. He's got his third. He's had a great game today, Ben Crocker. And to mark it back to one straight goal. Here is the lead-up, the build-up play. Paholke right here, getting away and doing it well.
That's it. It went from being a contested footy to all of a sudden a bloke running free. And as you can see, that was Frampton who I thought was going to jump at it. Maybe just at the last minute realised that Crocker could get a jump at it. He just kept his man grounded, and Crocker led his player to the ball and ended up taking it on the chest. So well done by him. 3 goals as a small forward. You can't ask for much more than that, and gives himself a really strong opportunity of being picked next week and maybe even round 1.
So 3 goals for Crocker, 3 goals also for Darcy Fogarty, leading the way. It's been 2 apiece to Marshall and Williams.
So that position, Tyson Stengel, Lockie Murphy, it's that small forward pressure player in the front half who can also hit the scoreboard. So he's done pretty well.
Great bounce there by the umpire. Nice tap down there by Hayes, who got it to Ebert, but he's tackled immediately and will get another ball up in the middle of the ground. About 4.5 minutes left in this contest, so still plenty of time. Hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. Umpire tosses it up. Strawn and Hayes again. Ball goes through the back to Frederick. Fogarty's there, trying to get involved. Sutcliffe in there too. Now Schoenberg puts a big tackle on Drew. Sutcliffe off the ground, gains about 40 metres. That was well done. Marshall got to the football first, then just spat the ball out, but the umpire said illegally.
Yeah, had possession, and then it was like a push, almost rugby union style. Put it behind you, and the umpire said you can't do that.
Kelly to Mackesy, who uses the ball pretty well. Biggs, and good contest there. Himmelberg maybe a little bit unlucky not to get the free kick, and we'll get a boundary throw in.
Just got a little bit of sweat dusted off the old ear by the Port Adelaide defender. He turned around to the umpire and said, come on. The umpire said, keep moving.
So umpire now tosses it back into play. Well done there by the big fella. Strawn runs into some trouble, but got the handball away. Big ball to be won here. Great tackle there by Pat Moore, but Keys managed to get it back to Strawn, who's wrapped up by his opposite 45 there in Frederick. Now the ball comes free. Frederick again involved. Gets the handball back to Attlee. Attlee goes short, neat kick. And he finds Marshall. Marshall now to lean it, who can thump it, but he goes the shorter option. And Port now might just be happy to milk a little bit of time. Kick inboard again to lean it.
Yeah, I think this is something that coaches sometimes do. I can see the Port Adelaide bench, they're holding up some signal cards. I just wonder, part of the reason you in trial matches as well, you do some scenario type play, and this looks like, you know, we're 2 or 3 goals up with 2 or 3 minutes to play, and the call is just now, let's possess the ball. Can we hold on to possession for 2 or 3 minutes? This is what you do in trial matches, just the coaches get a chance for the players to do it under some pressure.
Yeah.
So this is what Adelaide have to do now, is Adelaide have to quickly man up. They can't just allow these free players to keep running along and just keep getting uncontested mark. So it's good practice for Adelaide at the same time as well to try and stop this.
Yeah, they've given up a bit of ground, Port. They've worked it back, but now the contest that the Crows want. They have to get the ball here. They've got about 2 minutes left in this game. Ebert goes after it. Strong tackle again from O'Connor. That's not the first time this quarter that has happened, and we'll get a stoppage. So one last opportunity, maybe a couple of opportunities for the Crows to draw level. Hayes, maybe unfortunate not to get a free kick. They go forward. O'Connor really throwing himself into this. Sutcliffe now, he's going to go all the way back. That's clever play. And Marshall, sensing that they need to just maintain possession, slows things down. Goes long up the line now. Looking for a contest. There is Strawn. Ball comes over the back. Patmore. Handball's over the top. Getting involved there was Scholl. Tackle now on Mays. Got the handball away to Hayes. Now to Cox. Cox is wrapped up by Wilson. Big tackle on him. Umpire blows the whistle. And with a minute to play, we've got another ball up.
Starting to see some really tired players now. You don't see the punch in their legs to be able to run away from a contest, so they tend to over-handball a little bit. We're just seeing that now late. Keys
with a tackle on his opposite 28. Drew, and we'll get the ball up again. Umpire gets on with it quickly. Good to see. Hayes, nice little tap, but Seedsman is there, now Strawn. Seedsman goes back in after it, but he's tackled straight away. Now the kick out of bounds on the full, and that should just about do it. Barring a turnover here for the Power. A little bit slow to his feet there is Samblich, one of the top up players, maybe some cramp.
Just looking, Port Adelaide got 8 defenders at the moment as well, so they're just practicing some of their role plays.
Kick goes forward and comes to Paholke. They're going to have to be quick here now, Adelaide. They've got about 10 seconds left. Kelly gets it on quickly. Scholl has to turn and go, does so. Neat kick, Fogarty. Even he's too far out from there. Goes on the left boot, knows that he has to get on with it quickly. Up inside 50. There goes the siren. Good fight back from Adelaide. They trailed by 34 points at halftime, 17 at the final change. But in the end, Port Adelaide holding on by 6 points in a really entertaining game of footy.